Gentlemen, you know who is in the field for the PGA Championship?
Rickie Fowler.
Rickie Fowler will play just his fourth major championship since the 2020 November Masters. He only played the PGA Championship last year because he had finished T8 in 2021. Patrick, I feel as if you are quite bullish on Rick back in play.
Yeah, and he only got into the 2021 because of the kind of pseudo sponsors exemption.
No, it was like fully not pseudo.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, benefit of the doubt to the boys at the PGA of America. But yeah, a little back patio handshake agreement. And he took advantage of it to his credit. And I know Kyle wrote about him today, and he's just been great. He's playing fantastic golf, obviously inside the top 50 in the world now, which is a huge accomplishment. We've seen many great players drop even outside the top 60, like a Taylor Gooch. So it's really, really good to see Rickie playing well. And yeah, like you said, Rick, I nibbled a little bit at 80-1 today. It's probably not going to end well for me, but I'm excited to see Rickie, and he's been great in major championships throughout his career. And hopefully that continues next week.
Yeah, that 2021 sponsor exemption into the PGA Championship is a tough look. I mean, like, he played great, but in a post-live world, that's a tough one to look back on, because that's a little bit like what we're complaining about, or some of what we're complaining about as it relates to live. But yeah, I did write about Rickie today. I mean, I think I didn't realize this, Rick, but Butch Harmon, who he's kind of gotten back together with as his swing coach, predicted in January that he would win this year. And I either missed it at the time or didn't pay much attention to it, but now it looks pretty, prescient. I don't know if that's how you say that word, but he was like looking into the future quite well there, because Rickie's been really good. I mean, he's up to 50th in the world. I went back on Data Golf and looked at the best approach play golfers in the world so far this year. It's a metric. It's not maybe the greatest metric to determine like who's playing good golf, because you can do everything else poorly and still hit good iron shots, but it's pretty good. I mean, that's like the best determiner of, that was Tiger's thing in his prime, was hitting great iron shots. And Rickie's 6th in the world of guys that have 25 measured rounds or more so far in 2023. The guys ahead of him were names like Scheffler. Go ahead, do it. Yep, there's 5 ahead. Yeah.
Wyndham Clark.
No, he was 1 behind him.
Finau and Xander are definitely up there.
And you got 1 more.
Iron play.
This is 25 rounds since January 1st.
Yep.
Measured rounds.
The last one's it's both surprising and unsurprising.
Colin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprising because he's not really been a huge factor, but
of it, yeah.
Unsurprising because he's an elite iron player. So it's Rickie's also putting better. He had been really poor the last 2 or 3 years, and is he going to win a major? I don't really think so. Is he kind of back to who he was pre-2019? Yeah. I mean, he's not playing at the best clip he ever played at, but pretty close. So that's great. It's good for golf.
Prescient, having or showing knowledge of events before they take place for those playing at home. Also, Butch Harmon, I don't remember that quote, Patrick, but I remember a quote from Rickie where he says getting a lesson from Butch Harmon is like he tells you stories for 2 hours and then you are just all of a sudden striping it like by the end of the session. It's like he doesn't do like a lot of the technical stuff. It's just like, I don't know. It's weird. Apparently he's like the golf swing whisperer.
Yeah, I think when we talked to him, he just pretty much said it kind of just clicks. He can't explain it. He's like, oh, with Butch, it just clicks. But I'll flip the prescient back on you two. Rickie Fowler, Ryder Cup team this fall, yes or no?
Yeah, he's going to be on the team.
No, he will not be on the team.
Wow.
Didn't we just go the other day about how deep this squad is.
I think he's the 11th guy.
He could get in.
He's number 11.
He's definitely like much more likely to be like if you just start going through captain's picks, even if he's within the top like 20 of the points, he could be a captain's pick.
Okay, here's top 12 in data golf rankings. Like their data, like their where they are in the data golf rankings. Scheffler, Schauffele, Cantlay, Finau, JT, Wyndham Clark.
Oh boy. So
that's the top 6, and then Homa, Spieth, Morikawa, Cam Young, Rickie Fowler, Sam Burns. That's your top 12. Just
a hell of a team, by the way.
I think that's the team.
Just outside of that, Henley, Kuchar, Zalatoris, he's out. DJ, Gooch, Keegan, Sahith.
I've heard enough. Yeah, he's on the team.
It's so easy to flip you, Rick.
Yeah,
I was presented data, logic, and reason. I no need to go further.
I mean, here's the thing, though. I think honestly with Rickie, it'll come down to now. He's the lowest ranked in the OWGR by far out of those guys that I listed, but he's in the top 12 in data golf. I think it'll come down to, do you want, like, the reason I think he'll make the team is because it's going to come down to like him, DJ, and Brooks or something like that for the 12th spot. And Spieth and JT are going to be like, yeah, bring Rickie. Right. Mm-hmm. And I think that he's playing. I don't know if people have realized how well he's playing yet, just because he hasn't won or whatever, but he's playing well enough that you could, as a captain, justify taking him over terrible attitude Brooks and, maybe doesn't care anymore DJ. Not that he ever cared, but
when those captains are calling around, drumming up support for who should be there will be a groundswell for Rickie. Those phone calls.
There will be 11 other guys outside his front door waiting to shake his hand once he gets the call.
That's right. Yeah.
Is Wyndham Clark going to be on that team?
Yes.
Him or Thigala? I think they go Thigala. I think they want some younger blood. Clark's like what, 30-ish?
Thigala sounds like a nightmare and alternate shot.
Yeah, I mean, he'll just be like throwing his clubs into the European crowd.
No. I'm saying like he's just all over the planet. Like
Wyndham is such a good alternate shot, and like first of all, he drives it a mile, he putts well, and oh by the way, he's what did you say? The 6th best approach player in the world.
Yeah, 7th. Yeah,
that is a very, very dangerous combination of all things.
Yeah,
I think the U.S. team is like sneaky, not deep beyond like 13 or 14. Because then you get into like Denny McCarthy and Taylor Moore and
Russell Henley, and I was like, oh god.
Yeah, I mean Harris English is further down, so there's guys that have dropped for sort of one reason or another. Kurt Kitayama, it's interesting.
Ooh, he's been bad.
Bring Gordon Sargent. Take him.
Yeah, that went well last time. Everybody got all hot and bothered by.
He's so good. He's gonna have such a good career.
Oh boy.